And on this note, I want to deeply appreciate you. I know there are a couple of you who have some questions, and I am very happy to take some questions if you have any. I will get a microphone. We'll get a microphone. Just toward the question. Direct, I will take 3-4 response, and then I will take 3-4 response. Yes, question. Just straight to the question.
Because I'm idea. They say, room for us to bring development back home. Now, I want to train where group development if you get more info, any of the ministers or commissioners for they say I be around 2-3 months. Never, and they a hotel my brother neighbor, your PA of Catagona, Anambra. So Muamazika is in a phone project where my scholarship, my program of land, we run about Diaspora Villa Estate, Mantananke, and I take on we go to Jibatos, when you are because all opportunity,
thank you very much. Thank you. It will go the question. I will answer you now.
Thank you.
The next one.
Straight to the point.
Because the question, just can I take it? Because I want to follow questions. I'd like to respond
to my initial was the governor was
Thank you.
Because now say this program and free bed and everything on all the population, child population they high in Anambra. Can if I get about it, he control child birth in Nigeria. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor. Afamobo Ikenna. Umuzu Igwe elect Kambo. Your main word is not only political but it's sensitization. So almost one of the town of our local government, and they can see security challenge there now. And I'm my opposite them, but don't shift Magaba and I was no go area. And into Manu, Ikina Zuno, because so people open were planning for us,
everybody has questions, just 1 second. Because
we also have this green paper on your table. If we don't get to you, write your question on this green paper.
His Excellency Soludo, I can hear you. A lot of ENM Facebook I watch. The Udogachi. I find misuse their weapons. A lot of people were gun injuries. And I these individuals in the news, are they real Anambarians? if they are Nigerians, what local government capacity? I think we think what our governor should do is to select security men from each of the local governments. So I want to be if something may I am who to hold and who to account for it. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
I need a woman.
Exactly.
Faster.
Yes, straight to the point.
Hello. My name is Amanti Amaru Adoro. I'm from Oko. My dad in 2022 took me to Oko to discover my ancestral roots and where I come from. I was also schooled there and made many friends there. The school is Ben B. Dr. Ugu gave me a scholarship, but my problem is insecurity. The roads are not paved, also very dusty. So please, can you personally promise me that you will pave the roads in Oko?
Hello, Your Excellency, we're happy to have you here today.
Do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
One question because we
allow
have
me some time to talk, please. So, my name is Dr. Chido. I work for NGO Anambra and Anambra. So I have been very, very active in Anambra State from 10 years ago. I'm so happy that you've meddled into the area of, native doctor, pastor, because it is a pandemic in Anambra State. We have a frontier called the Hungry and Angry Recovery, Payment Recovery Frontier. So we are dealing with pastors who have taken money from ordinary Nigerians, ordinary Igbo people, in the promise of giving them miracles and stuff like that. We are also dealing with native doctors who are also extorting money from Igbo. You can imagine the amount of cases we have to deal with. Excuse me, sir, let me finish this. It's important, let me finish this. So the amount of cases we have to deal with. I took my son 2022 to Anambra State to school, and we had to leave because of insecurity. I wanted my children to live in Anambra State, to experience the place, because most of our brothers and sisters here will never go home. So my son wants to know, sir, can you promise him that if he comes back to again October this year, excuse me, Anambra State, if we come back to next October, can he be guaranteed their safety? Thank you so much.
No, before you go.
His Excellency,
just to remind everyone here, please, go straight to the question. You have 30 seconds to ask whatever question you want to ask, please. Go straight to the question, please.
His Excellency, my name is Professor Mary Ezaji, a criminologist and a forensic scientist. So my question is, we thank you for the proactive you have done in the security sector. We want to know, how will you deepen it to motivate the youth to be able to reduce the crime? We know you cannot see a crime-free society, but we want it to come down a little so that our youth can be involved in your own administration. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Rita Adashku James from Anambra State. I am the CEO of Messiport Group, and I have the mandate of our board of directors. We are a midstream, downstream oil and gas company, and we want to know. We've heard your mandate. We've heard of you from far countries. I don't live here. I live in Nigeria, but I also come here. We came here for a startup company to convert waste to to biofuels. So what I want to ask you is, what's the plan for people like my company, my board of directors, that want by way of investment to increase the optimum, to maximize the production capacity of natural gas, processing of natural gas? Because from the data we have, currently it's 5 million scopes, and it can go as high as 30 million scopes a day. I'm not going to talk more. So I want to know, because based on all you've said, we don't have those. We're not seeing the vested, like the readiness. Is there a readiness for people like us, for my board, to come and invest in the state, to create more jobs, and to make Anambra a hub for LPG in line with your clean energy solutions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just a few more questions, and then Your Excellency. That's from Africa, UK.
People are ready to ask questions.
His Excellency, my name is Peter Ezekiel, Sympathy the Mayor, Publicity Secretary, APCA UK. I'm here with all the APCA members. It's not that a question. Just want to thank you, appreciate you what you are doing, and we the APCA UK is giving you a maximum support in your second term election that will come up, and we are going to do whatever is possible for you to be there, because we have seen it. Yeah, because you cannot cover a pregnancy under the Uchafi marker. We have seen what you have done, and we are strongly behind you. Thank you very much.
My God, sir, how many more people do we want as much as we can? Okay, from Anambra. Yes.
Your Excellency, so even chop down African. Excellency, now let me tell you about refuse. That's not outgoing reason. I didn't so happy about the man. The problem I live in Anambra State. When we ask Wama, we didn't have no bed. And I don't know now the local government was in the way now, and the local government had a more. So the villagers had a flavor and a half. I can lose and so on. The only thing we came about this. I scan you by the chicken. It always problem then we go down now. My share field about refuse. We need five now. I said, let me clear by even if I excuse me.
I have the microphone. I give to you the last question. Sorry about that.
Southeast Governor's Road. Ndị Fulani n'ife nọ si gbakọ ọnụ ka asụchaa ya ka ebebe mechanized agriculture. Anyị na-agba ụbari nne ndị community vigilante na ndị amị na ndị polisi ha nyere anyị aka ka ha sụchasịa ọfịa niile dị na Anambra na Southeast wee mebe mechanized farming. Onwe go mechanized farming na Anambra. Gọọmenti federal na-ebunye machine n'ife niile. Unu nọ m nke ebunye na Anambra ma ọ bụ any steeti na Southeast. Biko nye ka nna ayọ. Nke ọzọ wee bụ Nkwọ Nnewi ọ dị congested. Anụrụ m na federal gọọmenti ewepụtago ego wee nye akwụ ihe na gọọmenti na-akwụ ihe ka ha mara ife anyị emie. Ọ bụcha ife m bịara. Afọ m bụ Mrs. Obama.
I think Mr. Governor, sir, and His Excellency. Olùkọ́ bí èjì respond lọ èrè mi ló ní sí tí wọ́n bá ìwé kàí máa ló sà.
Okay, Mr. Governor, I just wanted to thank you for your vision and for your willingness to implement that vision with your team. I can see from the presentation that you are doing quite a lot in Anambra State and you have a lot planned for us. But I just wanted to ask you a question on what criteria do you use to choose the roads, the abandoned roads that you are actually renovating or you are completing? Because it seems that some communities feel no sense of belonging. You also mentioned that you see Anambra as one.
You are interrupting.
You also mentioned in part of your presentation that you see Anambra as one. You don't see south, you don't see north. But it seems that a lot of people are feeling that communities where you have a lot of voters are being given a lot of roads, and big places where there are not a lot of voters, like Okoko, and Ebenebe, right? And my community, specifically my community already, even though it's in an local government, we don't have no roads passing through our community. No, that's the question. All right. So I just wanted to find out what is the criteria for giving roads to communities, because some communities do not have any roads going into those communities, and they feel no sense of belonging. Thank you very much.
Please go straight to the question. Actually, the governor, do you have question or answer? His Excellency, good evening, sir. Thank you for coming, sir. I'm not the dispenser. I'm Moyogiri, and I'm a member of People Ambassadors Club UK. Because I'm a agriculture. We're getting of land. Anambra, one. And then two, I'm going to be there when everybody is not going to be there. But I'm not going to go that figure. If I'm going to go like people, why update on that road? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think Mr. Governor has had you all, and just 1 second to recognize the presence of the Right Honorable Uju Okafor, former Speaker of Anambra State House of Assembly, and the planned chairman for this event. Biko, you're very much welcome, sir. Thank you very much, Biko. Mr. Governor, Biko. So, Biko, I got to see our governor, Biko. I'm going to
Governor will respond, then we'll have room for a few more questions. Thank you very much.
Anambra bueno. Afọ m emetụla gị ife n'ọnụ, and a na-emetụ ife n'ọnụ ya na nke ọzọ. Ị na-emetụ n'ọnụ, ị na-eli n'ọnụ wee ntị na-ege ntị. Ụnọ na n'ife na-ekwu maka o nwere ndị ji ụkwụ eto nọ ebe na-ebe a na-egede ntị ibe a na-ekwu. Kedu onye ọrụ eri na jụrụ ajụjụ? Afọ m mkpọtụ dị n'akụkụ ebe a nnukwu. Okay, thank you very much. Now, I will just be very brisk in responding to you. Number one, onye Tinabia natural officers, and guy for investment. We have structure in place. You don't need to see the governor. Okay? You can imagine the governor. Not the governor for investment. You have to see the governor. Then even if that is the only thing I do, you won't even be able to see because there are hundreds that come every day who have one thing or the other to do. So when you come, you go to the relevant institutions. And let me be clear. Let me be very clear. I'm just saying actually investment, government in Yamana. We have just secured, the wrong thing to tell you, like I said, I'm not a politician and I don't pray to become one. The politicians who speak from four sides of their mouth. I'm aware of it as it is. And that is it. And that's what I am known for. And when I tell you yes, the answer is yes. When I tell you no, the answer is no. And when I tell you yes, you can take it to the bank. Now, when you come to Anambra and you want to make an investment, the land on which you make the investment will either be your land or land that you acquire from either the communities or from whatever. What the government will do for you is to issue you certificate of occupancy on that land if you have the relevant papers with the community. Again, I'm even there because you seem to be on the phone. I'm not going to question okay? Now that's again, happy phone. Not from the phone. I was looking at you because how you can answer it. I know the phone. So now it will either be your land or because like in Anambra, there's massive construction site. People are investing massively. Okay? Didn't have viewed the investment. Innocence, I went on inspection. Now his expansion, 30,000 square meters of land to build up area. His land. Never talk to government, he never talk to anybody. He's doing that. All my factories and then I give commission in some weeks and months to come. These people buy this. All my lawyer an industrial park, some part of Urumba, South. He told me he's finished with the communities for some hundreds of hectares of land. And he mentioned it to me when we met in a flight. And it's going to come for us to then issue him with certificate of occupancy. They didn't need to, we ran into each other by accident. He just mentioned it. I said, once you finish with the community, bring it and I sign up on you. But if somebody shows up and Kasim governor, Nyamana, okay? Because they are before government the government will first of all go and acquire it from the owners. Because it's important to know that the government and government and the government government will go and do what? Acquire it. Where's the engineer? And then government may acquire. Now we have an industrial city where we have acquired about 4,200 hectares of land. A full industrial city. And there will be terms. It's not free. It's not free. It's part of your investment cost. So if you want government to give you that, you either buy it outright or government goes into partnership, we value the land and it becomes government's equity in the investment. This is the way it works. It's not, give me, and I'll tell you, there was a scam that was going on and that I saw. And we had to put a stop to it. Maybe the future ones can continue with that. I was because land in Anambra is platinum gold. Land in Anambra, platinum gold. Because when you were speaking, you did mention something like diaspora village. I just smiled. Diaspora village. ịchọọ ime diaspora village, okay?
Your Excellency.
Wait,
Your Excellency, I bought land in Oka at Mbaku for diaspora village. I bought it with my money.
Bring it, I will give you a license, I will give you a CO4 tomorrow.
I was duped. They collected the whole money by one Benjamin Soludo. One Benjamin Soludo. They took my money up to now. I don't have a penny. I've gone to DSS, EFCC, everywhere. They told me that because the governor is the chief secretary of the state, sorry, because the governor is the chief secretary of the state, I cannot do anything until you finish your tenure. Then I will be able to pick the boy. And he's working with you as an SSA to the governor on student matters. My money, spent years, gathered it here, bought a land, he gave me all the documents, everything is with me, and it's fake. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I want
wait now. You see, let me. You've just laid out a very important accusation, which I am hearing. Okay? I'm just pay attention. Benedict Soludo is my nephew. It's my nephew. He works at UBA. At Zenith. Okay? He is a staff of Zenith Bank. So I know him. And I'm just hearing from you, whatever you dealt with and however you dealt, however, I know him to be a staff of Zenith Bank. So if you went through, and I must say this for everybody else, who is having to deal and you want to either to cut corners and so on, and you fall into those kinds of hands. Because part of what this thing we go through it every day. We hear these kinds of stories every day. Why have you not, this report, this is where I have to hear it.
I've written to you, I've sent text messages to you, and you told me if it's true that this boy stole the money, you will make the cost, the law to take his cost. I have everything with you, me and you.
Oh, okay, you sent it to me.
Yeah, and you replied me.
And I replied you.
Yes, and I wrote again, and I went to, I'm tired of going, I'm just waiting when you finish your tenure. That's when I will go after the ball. When you finish your tenure, I will go after the ball. Because they told me at DSS.
You know what I will suggest to you? Listen, pay attention. Let me tell you.
One house, everybody.
Are you getting me? Then, when I tell you this, is that, and I can tell you this, pay attention. No, if you let him, if you want to make it a next change, as he said, I will reply. That's not even there. No, allow him, please. Let me tell you this, man. Come on, yeah, get your name. One bar for equal 10,000 times, that's only 12,000 times. You see, I get thousands of messages, and whenever I have time, like my phone has been on silent mode, and it's permanently on silent mode. Maybe I saw yours, and when I say it, I reply maybe 200 texts a day. I have no more memory of what you're talking about. But if I reply you and said the law must take its course, you take the course. Governor God will not take you go to court for you. Governor will not go to court for you. If somebody has duped you, if somebody has done whatever, you go to court. Have you gone to court? You see, no. You see, let me tell you this. Pay attention. DSS is not the one that will go to court for you. My friend, hire a lawyer and go to court. That's the way it is done. Of the DSS. Let your lawyer go to court. I don't want to, you will never provoke me to reply in a way that I shouldn't. But I will tell you this. will hear this kind of stories every day. We hear it. There is land. Land is, I said, is platinum gold. It's land speculators, land grabbers, everybody is a land agent. So be very careful. Let me tell you, I have a land in Abuja that was given to me in 2006. Allocated to me in 2006 by the former FCT minister, El-Rufai. The person who claimed to have been the former owner, they revoked it, took me to court. From 2006 to this year is how long? 19 years. From 2006 to then, we have still been in court. Land allocated to me by FCT, by El-Rufai, by FCT, by the federal government. I am still in court today. This is what it is. So when you say it's not, let me tell you, if you talk about Abuja, talk about Anambra, and you talk about Lagos, these are the places where land, in Abanyana land, and I'm saying it for everybody to take home. In a Jaife land, na Anambra. In a Jaife land, na Anambra. Sapa sa nanya. In a Jaife land, na Abuja. In a Jaife land, na Lagos. You have to have a lawyer. It is, you make payments through the legal process. Make your payments, make whatever you do. When I want to, I have land. I've been buying land since early 90s. Okay, from 91, I have been buying land. I own quite large swaths of properties all over, given the background I just gave you. And I have been duped as well. Yes, I have bought some. I have just given you an example of one that was given to me officially, and I have been in court for 19 years. But the lesson I tell you is that when you are going into land, hire a good lawyer who will go and do proper due diligence. Make sure that you are dealing with the right persons. Because otherwise there are all manner of people who masquerade themselves as land agents. Ijarana banyanaka agent, Yabana agent, Gafuzi onye super agent. The super agent will now see onye in the process you get it all messed up because onye gwalo na also ame. Amoro de onye with the original owner. Where does the wale go kunye somebody of one apple over to the wrong person? And if you trace your case, because I don't remember the specifics of this case, if you trace it, you will realize that part of the issue may, with a probability of up to 60%, pertain to either Onya or whether there is a dispute as to Moanyama or the rightful owner. I don't know the details, but if you examine it, you will see that it has to deal majority of what we see with this particular case. Onya Uruwo turns out not to be the rightful owner. You just say you retrieve your money back. Onya meanwhile, only get him. You just say you So, what I said to you today, I'm glad you brought it up. And I'm glad that you said when you sent a text, I replied you and told you that the law will take its course. I didn't tell you, because you said it's somebody called Soludo, that means the matter is dead. I told you, and I'm standing here to tell you, the proper way to do it is get your lawyer, if you feel aggrieved, and go to court. Or DSS Nigerian court. Or if I get the court. If you have paid somebody, you have evidence, you have this, your lawyer will take the person to court. That's the way it is. Because but I see, when you start going to DSS to do this, it means you want DSS to now become the law court. Anyway, free birth and population control. The same thing with even Ayo Mwai, Anamayo Babigo. The fact that not the free. We say that, but so far it hasn't become terrible. That's also a subject matter of debate, because some believe that I am enough maybe population I need deplete now was this is a different subject. It's almost at the stage immediately after the Civil War. Young boys died during the war, leaving a lot of widows. And a lot of young eligible girls to marry can't find husband because the young boys are dead. Now, many of our young boys in the Junofia, they die like chicken. They are living widows, young widows, all over the place. So somebody might be able to say, I'm just putting a joke to it about population control. For the guys who say, if any delay, it boom up, come, if you where they go, but I know for your walk or gas. Igwe elect security, let me say this. Obaru, part of Obaru, Igwe elect. Igwe, I will send this to you. Igwe elect. Because that's part of what I ask you. Run along that part of what I will say to you. No. This is a very serious conversation. Very serious conversation. I will give you illustrations. And the message I give to you is that, because what I was going to ask you is, what have you doing? What are you doing? What have you done? What is your community doing? There is no community that has been liberated from these bad boys in spite of the community. Every community that has been taken over by these boys, at least 70% of the bad boys that have held the community down are members of that community. Are members of that community. Nobody will come from Ebonyi or come from Adamawa and come to Umuzu, Bonu. Oh, 90% of the bad boys, your village. And therefore, and I will give you case studies. When I assumed office, we mentioned that 8 local governments were no-go areas. Even in here, a local government that is still the Achilles heel. Okay? A community like Okija, they took it of themselves. We assisted them, we recruited, we worked with them, trained, and the people took ownership. The people did what? Took ownership. At some point, there were now 2 camps. Those for the community and the bad boys. And those for the community chased these bad boys until they were able to get them. During the 2023 general election, we had a massive rally at Okija. The same with Opo. Opo was the epicenter with 4 camps. 4 camps when I assumed office. Actually, a Reverend Father brought me a drink last Christmas to thank me for the liberation of Opo. For stakeholders were in my house in the village to thank us for the liberation of Opo, for the security in Opo. In 2023 December, Ndi Opo had a mass return. But they had 4 camps. We sent the army, the police, the combined team. We fought for about a week. No one. The first day we went there, they came out and burned down the local government headquarters. But we finally succeeded in dislodging them. But you dislodge them, the community took over. Until today. Last Christmas, they were saying that no war. That's when they visited me, actually on January 4th this year. That's when they came. They told me that Oko was the safest community. And they were celebrating the biggest social events anywhere in Anambra during the Christmas season. All happened in Oko. I was there. No community has ever been liberated from these bad boys without the active, very active, organized participation of the community leadership. So if we're elect, I put it back to you. I want to guru if I spend then here local government and Owaru, these two local governments on security. 4 of the 7 FOBs we have are all illegal. 4 out of 7. Owaru now, massive onslaught by November, December. Various parts of Owaru. But all your people. One of them are born that. Now, the community, Umuzu. The speaker is there. The speaker is a man. He knows all those places. He knows the efforts, massive investment within the Navy, the military, our vigilante. If I never invest in these communities. But without your people erecting the counter force, forget it. Just being very blunt. There's no way it will happen. He said the policeman will see from Bauchi. He said the Onye Navy see from Adamawa. What are the vigilante? Onye Amobia. Onye Adole. Obiana Umuzo. Ona abata. Ụmụaka abago n'ime ọbịa ṅụsịa iyi. Ị na-abata na their community, ndị a na-anyasị ọkada, na-anya keke. They are part of them, they are the informant. They will tell them even ndị abata gọkwa, nekwe ụzọba na agwa, nekwe nke a. It cannot, the only way that it will happen is for your people to take ownership with you, Igwe elect, leading the way. Leading the way. Now, under our new security architecture, and this is where you absorbed a little bit, Igwe elect, because you Igwe elect, so you did a certificate, so we will not hold you responsible. We also try to absorb all of our wonders, because now, the previous law put the responsibility on Igwe. But we try to Igwe more on tenure. Igwe more insecurity be suspend there. May was elect or get it. Negative anya, what in the Igwe not going to throne 60 years. Yes, no. So, what we said, now the President Generals now have reporting lines. So once your people, and we'll take this message, we'll discuss that with the speaker. Once your people are ready, also, I can tell you Owaru area, the latest report I got, generally, Owaru local government, relative to where they were before November, it's like the difference between day and night. Your community may be peculiar, and if it is peculiar, let's find out why it is peculiar. 70% of the solution is in your community. And once your community takes the leadership, we'll be able to assist you to kick out these people finally and for good. Misuse of Udogachi weapons, I must tell you, this is part of the collateral damage. Overnight, you are not going to get the Scotland Yard, police of the Scotland Yard. These people are emergency responses. Who never even know? If you have an emergency, I'm not now and in that process, there will be some collateral. This is inevitable. These people came. They can find a man on the federal rule of law, federal rules of engagement. So sometimes there might be. We regret it, but unfortunately, it goes with the territory. It goes with the territory. And I must say, anywhere community and local government vigilante, and when 90% of your vigilante come from the respective communities and local governments, and when this na state level they are recruited statewide, and then also, but for that broken the mind, have to be clear. But these state level ones are the ones who go to major focus missions. No one offer ebendiano. Fanaga with the army or farmer alone and so on and so forth. They do those specialized special operations. But and when the ones by the communities and by the local governments. So, Ejo Mafo Wondebai, yes, 90% of them Wondebai, and they are from the respective local governments. Now, Oka, road in Oka. You know, when you were talking about Oka, people were laughing. My deputy governor is from Oka South local government, and we were talking about Oka town as the capital. The boy Oka. Right
now, Omega. Now, the only initiative I went on, I provide institutional education to nursing mothers.
Okay, now, if I not already address two things, my dear. Because when you raised question about security in Oka, I was, both of us started laughing.
Now my son raised it.
And I can know your son, you got one you know. Your son needs security in Oka. When actually anywhere else and people feel unsecured, Oka Cabana get down to, and everybody miling around every day and so on and so forth. And that's the place who feel then until the paved road didn't get in a Brent monk get up this Enfield. It is legitimate. I look at him and I say, nah, this government, we pride ourselves. In less than 3 years, we're doing 753 kilometers with 462 completed, average of 12 kilometers a month, and the quality Anambra has never seen. And the Oka, for the first time since its creation, is beginning to look like a capital. That will not. In terms of the tens of kilometers of road done in Oka town alone, in fact, you may have missed a skit. There is one skit that says they don't know whether Soludo going in a Soludo gave another connection to Oka. Why would you take special interest now you develop Oka? But say not that if I got Ponata Maya, if you're not a guy, all on I thank you very much. Oka is one community in Anambra. Oka is one of the 179 communities. It is our capital city, but in proportion to other communities. Awka, relative to its size and relative to its share of the wealth of Anambra, Awka has gotten hundreds of percent compared to others, the average of the others. How to deepen security, motivate the youth involvement. This is what it's all about. I don't even know what it's about. Investment in natural gas opportunities. Yes. On Saturday last week, a week on Saturday. Yes, sorry, not last week. A week this last Saturday. I was in Lagos to have this sent down for you out. And I had about 11 meetings with different groups. Out of those 11 meetings, 3 were companies that want to invest in gas in Anambra State. And very serious, including one of the oil majors that wants to lay our gas pipeline across the state. So, what am I saying? You are more than welcome. Anambra is a land of opportunities. You see, why some? No, somewhere else doing risk analysis. Those who know the way are exploiting and exploring and taking the first mover advantages and investing heavily in Anambra. Today, this administration will given out housing estates that are just developing. And for the diaspora, what I said to you, if you want to own a landed assets in Awka or around Anambra and so on, there are several estates. Very some with, I don't need to begin to advertise, otherwise I will begin to advertise some of them. I don't want to mention any. But there are several estates that are becoming super modern because we're developing also minimum standards. That if you want land, you can buy land in any of the estates and build. I don't know if you are getting the point. So somebody saying, oh, like I have the name Diaspora Estate. We don't have any such thing. The diaspora people are buying land everywhere. People in diaspora, people are buying land anywhere and everywhere and building massively all around Anambra State. Some are coming with farmlands. Somebody talked about mechanized farming. Give one. Farm. Or Anambra farm, Anambra rice. So if I put them mechanized, get here is there. Gambia can say in coffee. Gambia can say in coffee. No, that's a very good point you have made. Very good point. But let me respond as well. Ofia, that's number one. Number two, there is a misconception which I need to correct. Namely that even on the Mafia Fulani. Because this is a very, very huge misconception and misunderstanding. This was part of the hoax that was sold to our people. The Fulani norm, the good Fulani herdsmen. Let me tell you, in 3 years that I have been in office, we have caught many of our people in hundreds and thousands, and let me dare to say, 99.9999% of them whom are equal. 99.9999% of people I did go on the mafia now comes with the Aronse, but now Dawagana Pantaina, Bomo again, because it is a lucrative criminality or kidnapping thing, business or kidnapping, far by, Doba Fiva and Abanga come. It's a hoax. And by the way, mgbe ụfọdụ si na fa na-ata n'ime ọfịa ka fa jee ka e wee zọọ eje tụọ ndị Fulani. Nobody ever asked the question, how will these people be feeding from month to month, year to year, with guns? They started first, Fabana police station, they will sack them and carry all their guns. And nobody complained. Nobody said this is wrong. They will come to where they were on checkpoints, kill them and take their guns. Nobody asked questions. A hungry man with a gun must find a way to eat. So after a while, it now became a big business. It's become a big business. Big business. Don't forget, somebody like Nnamdi Kanu himself, he has issued statement, dissociated himself from the police who are committing all this criminality. IPOB consistently issued statements, dissociated itself from these people, but it's become big business. If I'm not I did have 100 of them. In fact, this is it. Now villages, they are volunteering. Some states, the state there, if I'm not where we do Anambra. Anambra, I just want in a line. Nobody in the market. Or more to a shooting. Foul, only one of them I did. When I did, Keruku Siama, on your target, or Siana Anambra, what you watch. Anambra, you don't need to target anybody. They put around on you for the video. No, no, Jirego. Oh, my own Nigeria. This is what it is all about. I just needed to address this misconception about the non-mafia Fulani, or Makabani, who for whom kidnapping has now become a lucrative business. On Africa, UK, thank you very much. As Wama, where my governor has taken a note, we have Southeast Governors Forum, and it's strong. And every governor is doing his own utmost best. But if we understand the nature of this criminality, that's when we understand that and that's why we are fighting it at the roots, including in the Nagoro job. The false confidence that, you could. That's why we are pursuing them. And I can tell you, since I did the campaign in January, there is massive return in Anambra. I can tell you from about when was that? 10th, 11th or so of this month. You couldn't get a flight. All flights to Anambra, Enugu, Asaba were all filled up. Filled up. Nwa Jackson, tomorrow. All roads all over the country heading down to Okija tomorrow also. Either today or tomorrow. Anambra is full with people because we have begun to chase these people. A lot of them are on the run. That's right. And we must continue this fight. That's right. They congested. Well, that's part of the problem I have. On your never booked yourself in a road. We had the government acquired the land, the federal government acquired the auto industrial park many years ago. But it's been dead. The project has been dead. We now have a new industrial park that is not we had. One area is congested. You can see the ongoing dualization going on. We are still coming. we will cleanse up the place and make the place livable. But you have to also to step up, stand up and step up. Stand up and step up. I am ready, and we do the bit that we have to do. And cause us choosing the roles of abandoned projects is very funny. One I'm working already. Let me tell you, let me share with you part of the criteria. I'm already. I'm also never. But already, when you let's say already. Maybe, let me say this. A lot of us from Anambra North, Anambra Central, and Anambra South. If I go where we look at I'm a Vietnam. Unfortunately, when you travel around Anambra, as I have been privileged to do in 2010, after then, that's when I resolved that I was going to, if I became governor, wait for Anambra North, Anambra West, and Ogwaru were going to receive special attention. These places where we can even Iga Ogwaru now, a community is an Ogwi Bele, Ogwu Anyocha. Okay, I know Mozo na Degwedisi. Ogwi Bele, Ogwu Anyocha. I remember them literally every day. You